Today we got Aquaman and Mera taking on Namor and Invisible Woman. Who wins? Well, let's find out. The son of Atlantean Queen and a lighthouse keeper from the town of Amnesty Bay, Arthur Curry would grow up to become the superhero Aquaman, and later take on his birthright as the King of Atlantis. He's a founding member of the Justice League, and is among DC Comics' most recognized heroes. Aquaman possesses incredible strength, and is easily able to move more than 100 tons. He's pushed down tectonic plates into the trench, held up a city block, and lifted an oil rig platform. He's also been able to hold his own in a fight with Wonder Woman, Lobo, and Triton, and managed to sucker punch Superman and send him flying. Aquaman is superhumanly durable. However, he is susceptible to piercing attacks. He's pretty durable to blunt force and energy blasts though, and has been able to withstand punches from Despero and blasts from Starro. His stamina is also incredible, as he's able to swim around the Earth for an endless period of time, and fight in a dimension of multiple suns for hours on time without growing tired. While not quite a speedster, Aquaman has incredible reflexes. He's able to dodge point-blank gunfire and lightning, and his reflexes are even superior to Deathstroke, which is pretty impressive. Under the water though, his upper limit is unknown, but he has mentioned that he's usually faster than Superman when he's under the water. Arthur can also move so fast that he can create huge whirlpools, tidal waves, and even spin his hands to create vacuums in the water. While Aquaman has many different powers, perhaps his most famous one is his telepathic ability to communicate with marine life. But the thing is, he's such an achieved telepath, and has communicated with marine life all of his life, that he's also able to engage in mind communication with non-aquatic life, even Martian Manhunter. However, as of right now, his telepathic powers have been downgraded, and he really only communicates indirectly with marine life. Aquaman is an expert fighter, and excels in hand-to-hand combat, and is very skilled with his trident. Speaking of his trident, Arthur always carries around the King's trident, which is indestructible, and is even able to injure Darkseid, which is saying something. Then on that same team with Mera. Mera Azebel is an Atlantean, and famous love interest and wife of Aquaman. She hails from the penal colony of Zebel, the Bermuda Triangle of Atlantean exiles, and was tasked with the mission to kill the King of Atlantis, before she abandoned her quest when she met and fell in love with Aquaman. Mera's been at Aquaman's side ever since, proving to be his most valuable partner in battle and in life. Mera possesses considerable superhuman strength, to where she can easily lift over 70 tons. She's managed to lift up massive Atlantean ships all on her own. And in fact, she's managed to deck Superman with a punch before. Not only that, she's actually injured Clark with what she referred to as non-lethal blows, because Arthur wouldn't let her try and kill Superman. Mera is also superhumanly durable, to the point where she's taken Martian vision from Martian Manhunter, and attacks on a Black Lantern Wonder Woman, and kept on fighting through all of it. Then Mera is much faster than most Atlanteans under the water, being on par with Aquaman, and able to swim at least hypersonic speeds. However, Mera's main ability is hydrokinesis, allowing her to manipulate water any way that she sees fit. She can use it to form melee weapons and shields, stop waves from crashing into boats, hold up a building, and has even held up a massive part of the ocean before. She's also able to solidify water, calling it hard water. With this hard water, she can form shields that protect all of Atlantis, or withstood massive explosions, form melee weapons, and even fire concussive blasts. Mera also doesn't have to be near water to use her hydrokinesis, as she can pull water seemingly out of the air, and even out of other people's bodies. She's able to rapidly dehydrate somebody's body, even someone like the Flash, or can flood somebody's lungs or even their whole body. Mera also doesn't really have a problem killing, as she's a trained assassin and fighter, and an expert using her powers in combat. She was even able to use her powers to momentarily take down the Justice League, while she was tired and exhausted. And then in the corner of Namor and Invisible Woman. Namor the Submariner is the ruler of undersea Atlantis, the offspring of a sea captain and an Atlantean princess. He's been both a hero and a villain to the surface world. Namor is one of Marvel's oldest published characters, with his origins all the way back in the golden age of comics. Namor is an incredibly strong mutant, and while under the water, it's been stated that his strength is virtually unmatched. He's been able to lift hundreds of thousands of tons, and hold his own against Thor, Hulk, and Blue Marvel. He also has superhuman speed, being able to swim over 300 knots, and has dodged countless blasts from superhuman opponents. Also superhuman durability, has been able to survive after taking a beating from both Sentry and Thanos. Namor also has a superhuman healing factor, but it's at its peak when he's under the water. And that's the thing, while Namor is very powerful, he draws his powers in some ways from the water. So the longer he's out of the water, his power slowly decreases over time. However, this does take a very long time, so one time he spent several years out of the water. Namor has the unique ability to channel the powers of any aquatic life in the sea. So like he's been able to channel the abilities of an electric eel and to shoot electric bolts from his hands. Due to Namor's incredible long life, he's fought in countless different wars and battles, and is a seasoned hand-to-hand combatant. He's skilled enough to have earned both the respect of his colleagues and fear of his enemies. Even though Namor is a capable weapons user and is skilled with his trident, he prefers to engage his opponents in hand-to-hand combat. And then, finally, we got the Invisible Woman. Susan Storm is a founding member of the Fantastic Four, and later the Future Foundation. She's able to create invisible force fields of any shape she conceives. She's able to turn herself and anything she's in contact with invisible. Now, Sue is able to generate and control a form of energy from hyperspace, and can bend light waves away from her in order to make her invisible. She's also able to make other objects invisible, like use her imagination rather than actual eyesight. Basically, what that means is that she can do something like making pipes in a building invisible, without actually seeing them. Since she can render other objects invisible, Sue often likes to use invisible objects as projectiles, whether it be something as small as a bullet or as large as a battering ram. Then she also has the ability to form force fields around herself and others. With this power, she can create force fields strong enough to restrain powerhouses like Captain Marvel, She-Hulk, and Hulk. She can create ladders, bridges, and platforms, create a board to levitate herself, and she can also fly by pushing her energy through air molecules. She can use her force fields to create weapons like a sword, battering rams to bust down doors, or even projectile weapons. Sue can determine how hard or soft her force fields are, and can create air bubbles that she can go to places without air. She can also use her force fields to move things like telekinesis, even being strong enough to destroy a piece of a Celestial's armor. Then, finally, Sue can make things explode by creating a shield inside of someone, then expanding it. And can also suffocate opponents by putting them into a shield, then not letting air in. So who wins? Well, let's break it down. Let's talk about where it'll take place. Let's put them in New York City, a few blocks from the water, where they can easily reach it, but they're starting out on land. Now, this is a ridiculously tough matchup, and either team could win. Both Aquaman and Mera, and Namor and Invisible Woman know each other really well, and no other teammate will fight and react. Aquaman and Mera probably know each other better, but Namor and Sue do know each other really well. Now, the way I see this fight playing out is Aquaman and Namor taking each other on and going head to head, and then Invisible Woman and Mera taking each other on. Because both Arthur and especially Namor are macho, tough, manly men who love a good fight. And they're not going to be taking on a woman when they could take on another guy for the quote-unquote better fight. Which is kind of lucky for both these heroes, as Aquaman and Namor would lose if they tried to take on Mera and Invisible Woman. So who wins between Aquaman and Namor? Well, there's a reason that's an iconic matchup, and it's been so hotly debated amongst fans. Because pretty much either one of these guys could win. Namor is arguably the stronger fighter, and can pack more of a punch, having made Hercules, Sentry, and even Thanos bleed with his punches. However, that's not really by a significant margin, because Arthur has also managed to send Superman and Wonder Woman flying with his punches, and actually injures someone like Mammoth, who had just beaten Clark. Then there's also the fact that while both guys have tridents, Arthur is a lot more likely to use his in pretty much every fight that he's in. And with the trident, well, he stabbed out Darkseid's eye and broke Graves' force field, which had just taken attacks from the entire Justice League. Then Aquaman is also the more skilled fighter than Namor, as Namor just kind of rushes in there shouting Imperious Rex. Arthur's actually shown some skill in his fight. He put some moves on Wonder Woman, who Batman considers to be the greatest melee fighter on the planet, and he easily dispatches Cheshire, one of the most dangerous women in the world, and says that she is well below his skill level, so he took it easy on her. However, regardless of who you believe actually wins that particular fight, the point is, it'll last quite a while. It's going all 12 rounds, and the brawl won't end quickly. That means this battle will actually hinge on the fight between Invisible Woman and Mera, which I think is really fun and really fascinating, because Invisible Woman is really powerful, and Mera is quite the badass. Now, Mera's definitely physically superior to Sue, as she's affected Superman with her punches, and is durable to take attacks from Wonder Woman. But obviously it's not a physical fight between these two. It's Mera's hydrokinesis versus Invisible Woman's force fields and invisibility. Now, Sue's invisibility really isn't going to be super effective here. She likes to throw invisible objects at opponents, but that's not going to work against Mera, because even if she can't see them coming at her, Mera is durable enough to take them. Then if Sue turns invisible, well, Mera is able to sense water, and it's shown that she knows where water is even when she can't see it. And well, the human body is like 70% water. So now it's down to hydrokinesis versus force fields. I don't think it's that much of a stretch to assume that Sue's force fields are much more powerful than Mera with her hydrokinesis. Now, don't get me wrong, Mera has done some impressive things, like creating shields and protecting a city, protecting an island, and actually containing a small nuclear bomb. She's also shown some real versatility of her powers, even being able to steal a Green Lantern's ring by manipulating the water in their skin. However, Sue has created force fields that protected a city for 24 hours straight, restrained all of the Avengers in a force field bubble, and sent all of the Avengers flying with a force field blast. She's even cracked a Celestial's armor with her force fields. That's an impressive level of power, and she's just above Mera. Plain and simple. She could even create a force field around Mera's head and suffocate her, or create a force field inside of her, just slowly expand it. However, there's a difference between what Invisible Woman can do and what she will do. She's got a high code of morals. Isn't likely to go all out. This is a fight that she isn't going to be desperate to win, because her children or family aren't on the line. She's not going to be popping anybody's brain, blowing up their lungs, and won't try and end this fight quickly or take Mera down before anything can happen. Mera is kind of the exact opposite. She isn't afraid to go all out, and isn't afraid to strike first. And while her hydrokinesis is powerful in the obvious ways, she's also shown that she's incredibly intelligent and creative in using it, like when she removed the Green Lantern's ring. But she's also shown that she isn't afraid to rapidly dehydrate somebody, knocking them out, or fill their lungs with water. And Mera is a whole lot more likely to do this quickly in the fight. She's done to heroes like the Flash before, and has a whole lot looser morals than Invisible Woman. I mean, she had to be told and hold back and not try and kill people by Aquaman. She's not going to have a problem going all out against people that she doesn't know. So while Invisible Woman might be more powerful, she's going to be holding back in the fight, and Mera won't. And Mera is a move that can take her down. From there, I really don't think it's that much of a stretch to say Aquaman and Mera can beat Namor. Now, obviously, Namor and Invisible Woman will get some victories, mostly because of Sue. But I think Aquaman and Mera will win like 6 times out of 10, because of essentially equal power, looser morals, and we don't touch on it, but better teamwork. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts, so sign off in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe button. More videos, just one every single weekday. And I'll see you next time.